Next topic of discussion is the presentment of a negotiable instrument. Presentment means what? Presentment means placing of a negotiable instrument before a drawee. So presentment means when one person places the negotiable instrument in front of the other party of the instrument, that is called as presentment. So presentment may be for any of the three purposes. One is presentment for acceptance, presentment for sight, and last one is presentment for payment. Means any negotiable instrument can be placed before a drawee for three purposes, either for acceptance or for sight or for payment. Let's discuss these three in detail. First one is presentment for acceptance. Only the bill of exchange is presented for acceptance. No promissory note, no check is presented for acceptance. This is possible only in case of bill of exchange. And it is also not necessary to present every bill for acceptance. The bills payable on demand or payable on fixed date need not to be presented. Means the bills on which the fixed date is there or they are payable on demand, so those kinds of bill of exchange are not to be presented for acceptance. And if the bill of exchange is payable after sight, then it is necessary to present the bill to fix the due date of the bill, and it is necessary where there is an express stipulation for presentation. That means if in any case the bill of exchange is to be presented, that means it is expressly stipulated that the bill of exchange must be presented for acceptance, so it would be presented for the same. So when we can say that it is a valid acceptance, first the acceptance must be given in writing. So if it is a verbal acceptance, it cannot be considered as a valid one. It must be signed by the drawee or his authorized agent. Any kind of valid acceptance which is to be given in writing can be given by giving a sign, and that sign must be of the drawee or of his authorized agent, and the signature must appear on the face of the bill of exchange, and it should be presented for acceptance on specified time, and if some specified time is not mentioned, then in absence of that the reasonable time would be counted as the specified time for presentment for acceptance of bill of exchange, and it should be presented for acceptance at a specified place. If the specified place is not mentioned, then the business place, and if the business place is not there, then the residence of the drawee would be the place where the bill of exchange is to be presented for acceptance. Now, how the mode of how the acceptance is being given, what is the modes of acceptance of bill of exchange? The first one is the general or absolute acceptance. That means when the acceptance to bill of exchange is given without any condition or the qualification. No condition is being attached, just the signatures are being put down on the face of the bill. That makes the valid acceptance, and this type of acceptance is known as the general or absolute acceptance. And in case of general or absolute acceptance, there is no need to write the word accepted. Just the signature of the drawee makes it a valid acceptance, and a holder is entitled to unconditional acceptance. Means in case of general or absolute acceptance, no any kind of condition can be attached to the acceptance. Second one is the qualified acceptance or the conditional acceptance. When any kind of condition or qualification is being added while giving the acceptance for bill of exchange, it is called as the qualified acceptance. And in case if the holder don't want to accept that particular condition or don't want to accept that particular qualification attached to the acceptance of the bill of exchange, he may treat the bill as dishonored. And if the holder accepts that condition, then all the parties shall stand discharged. Only the person who accepts the condition, who accepts the qualification, would be now liable to pay for it, and if their consent was not taken on the qualified acceptance. Let's see the example. Where a drawee writes any of the following conditions, it is a qualified acceptance. accepted on sale of my house. That means the bill of exchange is accepted here, but the condition attached is on the sale of my house. When the house would be sold, only then the bill would be accepted. Accepted for rupees 1000 only against an amount of rupees 5000 written on the bill. If the bill is for rupees 5000, complete bill is regarding rupees 5000, and it is being accepted for rupees 1000 only, then it is a example of qualified acceptance. Accepted 3 months after date against 2 months written on the bill. That means if it is being mentioned 2 months, the period of payment was 2 months, but it is being accepted as 3 months after date. So this means this is a qualified acceptance. In short, if any condition is being added, whatever is being written on bill of exchange, if anything else is being added on that, this is called as qualified acceptance. Second type of acceptance is presentment for sight, means the bill is being presented for sight. So in case if the bills payable after sight are there, the presentment for acceptance is essential before payment. As we have already read, कि if there is a bills payable after sight, in that case, the first case discussed, presentment for acceptance step is the essential step. So in case of promissory note, no acceptance is required. In case of checks, no acceptance is required. This is only required in case of bill of exchange. Where a promissory note is made without after sight, it is necessary to present it for sight in order to fix the maturity of the instrument. And the expression after sight, what it means? It means that payment is not to be demanded till it has been shown to the maker. At sight means the negotiable instrument must be shown to the maker, and till this is not being shown, the payment cannot be demanded. And presentment should be done within a reasonable time. So for every presentment, that means the reasonable time is considered as a valid condition. Third one is the presentment for payment. If the bill of exchange is being presented for payment, that means the objective of presentment is to give the party concerned an opportunity to pay. That means the party would get discharged after the paying of the payment. This is called as presentment for payment. And valid presentation for payment means presentation on the proper day. That means the day which was fixed for payment, that is that on that day the payment is being made. If any hour is being mentioned, any time is was mentioned on bill of exchange to pay for that, so at the proper hour, and it must be done by the proper person. That means the person who was liable to pay for that, at the proper place, like it may be some specified place, or it may be in absence of the specified place, it may be the business place of the party, or it may be some residential place in absence of the business place, to the proper person and in the proper manner. If any condition is being mentioned, or some manner is being given there, that the presentment for payment should be in this condition, so all those must be taken care. And in default of presentment, the all parties are discharged from their liabilities. Next, we will discuss rules regarding presentment for payment. When any negotiable instrument is presented for payment, what are the rules regarding that? Presentment through post office means the presentment for payment can be done through the post office. The negotiable instrument can be posted through that. Hours of presentment, it is usually the business hours. For example, a presentment at 12 o'clock when a person has retired to bed would be unreasonable. That means the bill must be presented when it is usually a business hour, 8 to 8, 9 to 9. Any odd time would not be considered as a hour of presentment for payment. Presentment of instrument payable after date or sight. If it is being presented after the said date, after the said site, after the said time, then it would discharge all the parties from their liability. Payment of promissory note payable by installments. A promissory note payable by installments must be presented for payment on the third day after the date fix, because in this case 3 days of grace is being given. So the third day after the date fix for payment for each installment would be the right time to pay. Next is presentment of checks. A check must be presented to a bank on which it is drawn before the relation between drawer and his banker has been altered. That means we know that the check is being drawn on a banker, and banker is always a drawee. So once it is being endorsed, once it is being transferred to the next party, that means the banker has been altered. So before that the check must be presented before for the payment. Place of presentment: where the bill is made or accepted at a specified place, it must be presented at that place for payment. And if the bill is accepted at two places, it must be presented for payment at either of the place. That means if the person has, if the party of the bill of exchange has the option of two places for the presentment of the bill, so in that case any place out of two can be considered as a valid place for the presentment for acceptance. Next is presentment of instrument payable on demand. If it must be, if the bill of exchange or any negotiable instrument must be presented for payment within a reasonable time. Reasonable time, that means either the mentioned specified time or the 3 days after the specified time, or any reasonable time which is to be considered as reasonable. Next is presentment to agent or local representatives. That means the presentment for acceptance may be made to the authorized agent of maker or the acceptor. If the maker has appointed some agent to work for him, so the presentment for acceptance of the negotiable instrument can be with that authorized agent of maker, which would make him liable.